Hello, people. Can't say Grand Rising. It's late at night. I usually don't post this late at night, but this is a special message. And if you look at the title, we're talking about Kashi 6ix9ine and Wack 100. Wack 100 is diabolical because he knows that everything he's doing and talking about only locks Larry Hoover in even more into the penitentiary. How a man gonna get a parole, but you keeping his name and all this drama that he knows nothing about? And you coming from California on some and you in some Midwest business with this dry snitching. 6ix9ine, he got to keep Durk name in his mouth and trolling little Durk because that's how he keep the feds on him. You got these weirdo snitches and they following, not even realizing what they're doing. Larry Hoover is an old man. He should have been out of prison. And you have people like Rick Ross shouting out his name, associating it with all this negativity that he ain't been a part of in a long time. He changed the name from Gangster Disciples to Growth and Development and tried to change the narrative before it even got to the point to where you see it right now. Then you got Tekashi riding Durk and keeping the spotlight on Durk and O-Block and OTF so that he can keep the feds watching them so that they can be entrapped in whatever the feds got planned. This is no different from federal agents that had Malcolm X assassinated, Martin Luther King, and they always used these snitches and these informants to do this thing. Durk is not mentioning him in any of his music. He's not saying Tekashi 6ix9ine, but you see Tekashi is still trolling. He's still dissing the dead. He's still involving himself in Chicago business. For what? He ain't never even met Durk. You got Wack 100 coming from California, and now he wants to promote some type of documentary and movie about Larry Hoover, the only man that could shut down the drill culture in Chicago. These guys is feds. They dry snitching. And they still talking gangster. They still talking gangster to the point to where Tekashi runs up on the Durk lookalike to troll. Durk, you too smart for this. You know he dry snitching. You want to keep the spotlight on you. He need to be high as duck. And Wack, the stuff that you doing out of California to the New York guys is ridiculous. I know y'all got to be hiding in your houses. I know y'all can't be out here in these streets. I know you can't. Clubhouse is disgusting. A bunch of wannabe thugs sitting in there dry snitching. And what does this do? What does this do for the community? It does absolutely nothing. It's still black men on black men, and the real enemy is the puppet master pulling the strings. And you got Tekashi 6ix9ine, a culture vulture, a bona fide rat. A bona fide rat. Trolling and acting like he really wanted like that. But he doesn't. You know, this is a little different from most of my commentary that I be doing, but it's serious if people not paying attention. Why do Wack 100 so concerned all of a sudden with Larry Hoover, knowing how much trolling and how much he done already said? How could he possibly be helping that man? He's locking him in. He's locking Larry Hoover in, and he's an old man. Can't you see it? He's trying to lock Larry Hoover in, the only man that could possibly shut down what's going on in Chicago between the GDs and the BDs. Because at the end of the day, his G is authentic. So this message that I'm putting out is for the young brothers that may be in the streets or whatever. Look at this and see that this dry snitching and real snitching, but still going for bad, going for broke, going for being gangster. What do they do that at? I'm from Detroit. It's obvious. New York, how you letting a guy from California extort y'all? A guy from California, you ain't got back for Biggie or Pop Smoke or none of the other disrespects from California. And you got this dry snitching Wack 100 in Clubhouse every day, fueling the flames. Makes you question what's really going on. Is this COINTELPRO? Is this new wave COINTELPRO? Where the snitches get to dictate the narrative? Tekashi 6ix9ine is a culture vulture. He ain't even black. He a true Mexican. He don't even like black people. That's why he have no problem with the trolling he do. He has no conscience. And why would Wack support it? And at the same time, slandering and disrespecting Nipsey Hussle. But I understand why they're trying to keep Chicago in their mouth. And they got such a big problem with OTF. They got a big problem with O-Block. They want to keep the spotlight on them. They don't want them boys to slide. But they're getting to the point to where any real G worth his salt can see that they need to be slid on. For sure. All this dry snitching, all this divisiveness that these suckers is doing is ridiculous. I respect Durk for not even mentioning that lame's name. Don't even mention him lame's name. They ain't doing nothing but trying to dry snitch on you. Don't go for it. They creating their own hells. Because the streets always need a body. And the streets gonna get their body. The streets is undefeatable. And in this day and age where everything is recorded and set for history, it can take years Nobody's forgetting what you're doing, Wack. What you're doing, Tekashi. You trying to Wack, you trying to lock Larry Hoover in. And Tekashi, you trying to dry snitch on Durk. Period. That's clear. Durk on tour. Do like niggas from Detroit do. You want to see Durk? Buy that front row. And rush the stage. And see what that gets you. That's what they do in Detroit. This is a no-fly zone. But what you doing is trolling all around the country, calling him out his name, slandering and saying this, that, and other, and dissing the dead. When you ain't nothing but a little weak-ass Mexican. For sure. And Wack is acting so sissy-fat. Snitching on Big U. He always got a sex tape. Ain't no telling who dick picture he got that's gonna pop up. Wack that low. He that low, he liable to have your dick pic. And be trying to extort you. Like, I got a picture of your dick. Pay me. Boy, bye. This country ain't as big as you think, and everybody's not as slow as you guys think. Clearly, we see that you dry snitching, you promoting divisiveness on levels that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You actually using your platform to lock Larry Hoover in prison. Because how could anything you do help that man when you surrounded and always in some gang violence? You are truly an agent. On some levels, I don't even think people, your biggest detractors, don't even know. Why would you, of all people, have a documentary about Larry Hoover? What do you know from California about the Midwest? You still on that sucker gangbang mentality when you don't realize in Detroit and Chicago anybody can get it. It's crazy. And then you riding with Tekashi. And he riding around dissing Durk in O-Block and OTF, knowing good and well they ain't hard to find. Not at all. Not at all. I'm an old nigga and I know where to go find O-Block. Really. You snitching on them boys. And people is following you. We'll become a what? A snitch culture? A snitch culture? A broad ass culture? This is what it is. I done laid it flat out for you. The only reason Wack 100 is making a documentary about Larry Hoover is to lock Larry Hoover in. Larry Hoover should have been out of prison. And the only reason Tekashi is mentioning Durk is to keep him under the spotlight and keep the feds on him, trying to lock him up. When all they got to do is mind your business, find another way to eat. Y'all can't find another way to eat. But the streets is unforgiving, and the streets going to want a body. Before it's over, the streets going to want a body. But this is for real. This is serious. Pick a side. Because these guys is ops to the black community. Don't nobody need all this violence. Don't nobody need all this negativity. Most older people, my generation, they don't even understand what's going on. in this metaverse, these viral goons. I respect Durk for not even feeding back. Don't never put Tekashi in your song. Don't never respond to him. Keep him wondering, keep him guessing. Same thing with Wack 100. Know for a fact he's trying to lock Hoover in. I don't care what he say. He's trying to keep that man in prison as long as the government want him to. Larry Hoover already lived longer than they thought he would. When he came with growth and development and tried to change the game, the government marked him. And these agents, and y'all on YouTube and y'all following agents, for real agents, they already got enough money. So they just doing it for what they call it, clout. What kind of clout you get? What kind of clout you get for being the biggest rat in the community? You want to be as famous as Sammy the Bull Gravano, Joe Valachi, Judas? You know, Judas changed on, snitched on Jesus. So you ain't gonna never be big as Judas. He snitched on Jesus. So you still gonna be second best. Y'all still second best at what y'all do. But to the black community and black men, see through it. See through it. Know who your real enemy is. Tekashi 6ix9ine, he runs up on some young guy, Perkio. Now he into it with the Zoes. Tekashi, if you ever see this video, you'll never get to be my age. You'll never get to be my age. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You're going to live your life as a rat. And everybody that follow you and hang with you is rats. New York, you should be ashamed of yourself. I never wear a New York hat. When y'all let California and these rats just destroy the culture and go viral on y'all and still be around. It's all real. You see, they ain't going to Chicago, and they damn sure ain't coming to Detroit because anybody can get it here. These boys run over that. They run over that. They run over that security you got if you say the wrong thing. And it's deep because you don't even see it. Wack 100. 100 is deliberately trying to lock Hoover in on his bet. And the man is dead in 70. While at the same time, his counterpart is a working federal agent trying to take down whoever. Tekashi trolling everybody. But it's deeper than that. They think they playing chess, but they really playing checkers to a real chess player. See through it. They dry snitching. They dry snitching. They throwing rocks and had in their hands. They Judas. I'm going to end on this note. Get your hand out of my pocket.